My daughter, Claire, called to tell me she found me a room in a nice place. The way she said it, like she was describing a restaurant. I was standing in my kitchen in my wool socks, watching the steam curl off my coffee. She meant well, she always does, but something in my chest went cold, the way it does when you realize someone you love has started seeing you as a problem to solve. I didn't say a word for a while. I just watched the steam rise and disappear. And I thought, they really believe it. They actually believe I'm disappearing too. I'm 96 years old, and I need to tell you something no one has ever told you straight. Not your doctor, not a magazine, not even the well-meaning child calling to check on you. They lied to you about living alone. There's one thing I lost at 64 that took me nearly 20 years to understand. I never actually had. I'll get to that. But first, you need to hear this. Every expert who said that living alone is a quiet tragedy, most of them are gone now, and I'm still here making coffee. They built an entire idea that an empty house means failure, a failed marriage, love that faded, children who drifted away. They hand you that story like a diagnosis, and most people accept it. I almost did, but here's the truth no one tells you. The loneliest I have ever been in 96 years was not in this house. It was sitting at a table full of people who needed me to perform a version of myself I no longer recognized. I remember one Thanksgiving about 15 years ago. A crowded kitchen, the smell of burnt sweet potatoes and too much perfume. A child crying in the hallway, TVs playing in different rooms. And me, sitting in the middle of it all, feeling so invisible I could have walked through a wall. I smiled, passed the bread, laughed at the right moments, and drove home that night more empty than I had been in years. That was loneliness, that warm, crowded, well-lit room. That was loneliness. My house, the one people feel sorry for, is something completely different. At 96, I wake up because the morning light comes through my east window and lands on the floor in a way I've never seen anywhere else. I make coffee, real coffee, strong and bitter, just like my mother used to make. I sit down. No TV, no phone, just me, the light, the coffee, and whatever is moving inside me. And I'll tell you this, there is more life in that one quiet hour than in most of the years I lived before it. They lied to you about silence. They told you it was emptiness. It's not. Silence is the first honest thing you will ever hear. I have a friend, Eleanor. She's 92 and lives with her daughter's family. She's surrounded by love, grandchildren, constant attention. But every time we talk, she sounds like she's speaking from inside a wall. She hasn't chosen what to eat or when to sleep in years. They love her and slowly, gently erased her. They call it safety. I call it disappearing. So what did I lose at 64? I lost the need for approval, that exhausting need to be seen by others to feel real. I spent decades performing, being patient, being okay, being everything people expected for an audience that wasn't even paying attention. And when I finally stopped, when the house became quiet and I let it stay that way, I didn't lose anything. I put down a weight I didn't even realize I was carrying. They told you living alone means you have nothing. The truth is, it means you finally have space. Some mornings I sit on my porch before sunrise. The world is still. A few birds, a distant dog, the sky slowly turning blue. And I think, I built this quiet, this life. No one gave it to me, and no one can take it away. At 96, I wake when I want, eat what I want, sit in silence without apologizing. My daughter Claire still calls about those nice places, and I love her for it. But when we hang up, I pour another cup of coffee, sit back down, and watch the light move across the floor, slowly, quietly, like it has nowhere else to be. At 96, neither do I. They lied to you about living alone. They told you silence means something is wrong. But sometimes, silence is what a life looks like when it finally becomes honest. So let me ask you something. If you're sitting in a quiet room right now, is that silence a burden? Or just a space you haven't learned to live in yet? And if everything disappeared tomorrow, the noise, the expectations, the obligations, who would be left sitting there? Because whoever that person is, she's been waiting for you for a long time. I hope you stay long enough to meet her.